So the NDC yesterday held the press conference, which I term as the most anticipated press conference in recent times. It was themed the criminal conduct of the Attorney General in Ato Forson's trial. The NDC said they were going to put out some evidence, and indeed they did. And to be honest with you, if you are a Ghanaian and you have Ghana at heart, you seek the progress of Ghana, you should be worried. And this is not for us to play political cards to shield anything, but you should be disgusted with the kind of things the Attorney General, who is supposed to be the Minister of Justice, said on tape and was played. And so surprisingly, soon after the NDC's press conference, the NPP mounted a podium to defend this, to put up a defense to this. And then you ask yourself, where are we headed? Because mind you, the case is not between Ato Forson and the NPP. The case is not, again, between the NDC and the NPP. The case is between Ato Forson and the state, in which case the state is being represented by the Attorney General. So in any case, the reason why the NDC is backing the Honorable Ato Forson, I made a video on that and I'll put the link below. Go and check it out. If the NDC is backing Ato Forson, NDC is not backing Ato Forson against NPP. This is against the state. So why is the NPP stepping in every step of the way to debunk every assertion? And at this point, it's not even assertion anymore. Evidence are adduced, provided. But the NPP is standing to defend this. The Attorney General clearly was captured on tape requesting that the witness should testify in a certain manner, which the witness declined. And after the decline of his request, he came back to say, I hope you are not recording me. Oh my God. Now you tell me, if the Attorney General knew that whatever he was doing or saying wasn't anything untoward, why was he concerned whether or not it was being recorded? Let us listen. It's very disgusting, in my opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, I would at this stage invite you. You have been salivating for some time now. But I want to invite you to the content of this recording, after which I'll make some important observations. Let me allow you.
You pay only after the goods are delivered, because that is also the contract, not so.
Yes, but then the financial instrument for the project is an irrevocable letter of credit. So that credit letter has already been sent.
Hold on, no problem. But in my view, that letter of area, the contract requires that you pay by letter of credit, not so.
Yes, in addition, we should establish it upon the front of the contract. So already you have paid.
Upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulances.
Yes. Upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulances, since there was no advance compensation, advance payment, that LC was a security that you have to establish ahead.
No problem. It's on the contract for every 50 ambulance. Is it the contract for the contract for every 50 ambulance?
Pardon?
Is it the contract for? I'm saying upon the sign of the contract for every 50 ambulance.
Yes.
Is it the contract for the every 50 ambulance?
If the contract is for 200 ambulances in tranches of 50.
Good, hold on. So that contract for 50 ambulance is different from this one?
No. It is, the contract is one contract for 200 ambulances, which has been broken down within the contract for every, you establish LC for every 50 tranche. So you have 4 LCs for the 200 ambulances.
No, that part here. I disagree with you. But if you look at the text and contract, it's quite clear. And it should not be difficult for you to accept, because it doesn't put you in any problem. Of course, that doesn't put you into any difficulty. And you know the Minister of Health, the Minister of Finance. So for it, if you accept that, then it doesn't put you in any difficulty.
See, the problem I have in accepting that for you is accepting that for you is that there are letters that confirm that, both from. That is the problem I'm having. Anytime you bring up this issue, me to go about my answering questions and things. If I go by that way, frankly speaking, I'll be dishonest. because I know that is not how it's supposed to be. And I'll be dishonest, and I'll be dishonest in such a way that I'll be assisting for someone I know is completely innocent about this. For example, Ato Forson, to be jailed because I knew something was wrong, was not the way, and I decided to keep quiet and to answer the question in a way that will make your case better for you to jail him. I'll be battling with my conscience. That is the problem I'm having. Anytime you bring up this issue with Yoni Kulendi, when I went to Yoni Kulendi's place, anytime you bring this issue, that is my problem I'm having. Because me, for example, I am in this case because I'm innocent and I'm going through ordeal. So I'm looking at another person also going to go through ordeal and through me because I know the truth and I decide not to say it because I want to help the AG make his case. And I ask myself, what is my interest in it?
I'm not asking you to really help me. I'm just going by the top. Anyway, so that's fine. So this one was even just by the way.
I hope you get my difficulty.
It's on the phone. I don't even know that.
Oh no. Don't worry about that one. My issue I'm with that. What? Oh no. You and I will be mixing.
Please. Order.
So we have just heard the conversation between the Attorney General and Mr. Richard Jakpa, a private citizen and a businessman for that matter, who is the accused or the third accused in this trial. You could hear clearly that the Attorney General at the end of the conversation, after Mr. Richard Jakpa declined his suggestion, he was like, it's okay, that's all right, we are on the phone and I hope you are not recording me. It is so disgusting. Now, the worst part of it now is this. The NPP, as I mentioned earlier, mounted a podium to defend this. And in a bit of defending this, Nana B stood and said so many horrible stuff. And then a very astute lawyer, Davis, he was one of the lead counsels for the 2020 election petition against Akufo-Addo. He was one of the lead counsels in that petition. Very brilliant brain. But then, for the sake of politics, he stood to defend this. And they claimed that this was the doctored tape. But you know what? I've got something to show you to prove that this was not the doctored tape. Listen to Nana B and Lawyer Davis before we get to the other part.
Last week, we heard a lot of spurious allegations, manipulated facts, distorted narrative from the NDC, targeted at the Attorney General. The Attorney General's credibility remains unblemished. He is one of the most hard-working Attorney Generals we've had in this republic. Very intelligent, very smart, and no amount of shenanigans, no amount of evil intention against him will suffice. Now we have here today the NDC addressed the press where what is believed to be their evidence, the much talked about tape, was released today. Clearly you could see that it was doctored. It is a manipulated tape. It is a cut and pieced together tape thrown out to create a certain impression and we are here to respond to these evil-minded persons.
Yes, and spurious allegation that the Attorney General had approached him on several occasions to skew his testimony to implicate Ato Forson. Ladies and gentlemen, why would any credible person do such a thing?
Of course it's not credible, and for which reason we are here to answer your question. The Attorney General is not credible. Duh. Of course it's not credible.
Indeed, if the Attorney General had any intention of having him skew the evidence in favor of Ato Forson. It would not just be just for the Attorney General to continue the prosecution of Ato Forson. But that is what the NDC wants us to believe.
NDC for Munti, on resign, on resign or China. Or because why an Attorney General and why in a Juma send ye fata. Mo doctored, mo fake tape, ne market can see ni, and ne my yano, and kusi baby. Or because why in a Juma, ye be share court, near Kanyasem court, and your media munia beka, a bushman for Yamishamo.
So that is Nana B for you. Very, very unfortunate. But there are still some few level-headed in the NPP, which somehow gives us hope. There is this gentleman called Abdul Aziz Haruna Fital. He is the National Nasara Coordinator of the NPP. And he says, I am really sad as a Ghanaian. I'm an executive of the NPP, but seeing a whole lawyer Frank Davis defending this, let's call a spade, my brother. Godfred conduct is a disgraceful one. So someone commented on his post and said, it's not encouraging for future generations. Everyone might think doing this is a normal thing. And he came back and said, I am a Muslim and always speak truth to power. Someone came and said, take my respect, sir. And then he said, we have to speak the truth always. Ghana first before particulars. This has been my motto. Ghana first before anybody else. It doesn't matter who you are. For me, as long as you put Ghana first, you have my respect. Mr. Abdul Aziz, you have my respect, sir. So join us in a bid of ascertaining fact into NPP's assertion whether or not the tape was doctored, brought into their studios Dr. Adam Bona, a security analyst, for him to pass his individual professional judgment on the audio. And by doing so, Dr. Adam Bona clearly stated that the tape was not doctored and it can be taken to any security analyst in the world and it will pass the test. So there you have it. Now, listen to Dr. Adam Bona.
It's not doctored. Absolutely not doctored. Anyone who understands, how bagging is done or how recording is done, and this, not even a third-party device was used. It was a direct recording. When I say direct recording, you can see, there are no noise. You have very minimal noise, just like a normal telephone conversation. It means that it was, P2P recording, not where you call me and I set up maybe another recorder somewhere, put it on loudspeaker, and then I'm using the third-party device to record. This is a direct, call it P2P recording, and so it's not doctored. And if you listen to the sequencing, if you gauge the sequencing, you can see Jakpa, Richard's, diction, his tonation, it was constant, very constant. He sustained it. If you looked at the pitch, also he sustained that one as well. And then even with the AG, if you look at it, he spoke as if he was, under his bed or somewhere, but also very sustained. Something like that. And when you look at it, anyone who understands the way these things are done will tell you that no, this will not pass for a doctored tape. Even up to the time they said goodbye to one another, this will not pass as a doctored tape. And you can send it to the FBI, you can send it to the CIA, to MI6, MI5, and they will all tell you the same thing I'm telling you. It is not doctored. The NPP.
Now, my candid advice to the NPPians, Nana B, Frank Davis, and the rest. Leave a drowning man to drown alone. If you do not take time, you're going to drown with him. This GH First Media, we say just as it is without fear and favor. Thanks for watching.